Yeah, he tried to get us to go into his van, so that was a little bit weird. So we made it to our hotel in Seoul. It was a little bit messy getting from the airport via train and then taking that to Seoul station and then taking a taxi through to Myeongdong, which is where we're staying. Really weird. I think it was like some sort of like private taxi situation. It definitely wasn't like an Uber, but it was just like a black van that was just parked outside the taxi stand. And yeah, he tried to get us to go into his van, so that was a little bit weird. I don't know if that's normal. And then our taxi driver also insisted that we pay cash rather than by card, so I don't know, personally I'm kind of feeling that we're not off to the best start. Yeah, it's just a bit odd. Yeah, we're not driving here, so we will be relying on public transport and stuff, so hopefully it'll be okay. And hopefully the same, I guess, experience isn't gonna repeat itself. Yeah. Our hotel was located right next to the Myeongdong night market, so after getting a bit of rest we decided to explore a little. We ended up going to Macca's out of curiosity just to see if they had anything special, and ended up getting the crispy Shanghai burger and also a bulgogi burger. The Shanghai burger was honestly so freaking good, and it was honestly just nice to have something that reminded us of home. There were so many shops in the area, but there was one that I really wanted to go to, which was Laneige, because they had these limited edition sleep masks. I tried to get into like the customizable workshop, but those tickets went straight out the door the moment they opened online. I did manage to get the sparkling mint one though, so I'm happy about that, but yeah, would have been nice to actually like smell or be able to buy the other flavors. We then went over to the night markets, and honestly there's just so much food, but a bit of it is a bit repetitive. So if you are in the area or you're looking to enjoy the night markets, I'd definitely walk up and down the strip before committing to something, because you just might find the same thing somewhere else and cheaper. Something else that's worth noting is that most of these vendors operate on a cash basis, so if you are looking to enjoy the markets, definitely have some smaller change with you before you go. We are now off to a place in Hongdae district that has like a library of noodles, so
You know what I mean?
excited.
I love my noodles.
Yeah, so this should be good. I'm excited. It looks like there's a big range.
It's Japanese, like some of the characters, like numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm able to get by a bit more.
it's alright. We'll get there. Ramyeon Library. Oh my god. How fun. It's cute. The range.
It's fantastic.
How cute are these little tables as well. Okay. So many. The convenience stores in Korea are definitely different to the ones in Japan, but there were honestly so many like condiments and like eggs and things that you could add to your ramyeon here.
Okay. Top 6, that makes sense.
The Hongdae free market was so good, so if you're into art or like handmade markets, this is definitely the place to go. I really enjoyed the variety of vendors they had here, and something which we found was really popular in Korea was caricature drawings. We went with this watercolor artist who did one for us and our dog Rosie, and it turned out so well. I really loved the colors that she used, and although it ended up costing us something like 65 Aussie, which isn't cheap at all, I really like that this became a really relevant souvenir for our honeymoon. After walking around for a little bit, we ended up stumbling across this cafe, and they made the most beautiful strawberry cakes. Everything was very much themed around strawberries, and we ended up getting their signature strawberry drink and also a plum-aid, and both were so good. Honestly, this was such a cute little cafe that we stumbled upon. We then headed over to Ikseondong Hanok village, and Hanoks basically refer to traditional Korean houses, and they have been repurposed into like cafes, restaurants and the likes here. The alleyways themselves are pretty tight, especially with the crowds, but everywhere you looked there was something to basically see. We ended up coming across this bakery though, which sold salt bread, and it had such a huge line to the point where Mike and I actually felt curious about what they were selling. The bread itself was some kind of like cross between a croissant and brioche, but without the sweetness. And we ended up having a little bread break in the little like breakout area outside the bakery. We ended up getting a bag of 4 buns, and they were fresh and warm and honestly just so good and so worth the wait. Definitely would recommend coming here. Exploring a bit more, we went to this palace where we ended up seeing a Korean like traditional dance, which is pretty cool. Headed to the Nike store for the slot we had booked for Nike by You. As we stayed in Myeongdong, it was really easy to book a session, even though these do book out really quick. We didn't realise that they only had certain allocations of patches though, so they didn't actually have stock of the one patch that we had wanted. So if you're keen on doing this, definitely book an earlier slot during the day, as they do run out. Getting a head spa in Korea was one of my #1 things to do, and we ended up booking with Park Jun Beauty Lab. Michael and I went with the 15-step hair treatment, and it all began with them analysing our scalps. And honestly, if I could do this again, I would totally wash my hair the day before, because the scalp scan totally called me out for not washing my hair for a few days. Anyway, the treatment was honestly so relaxing, and the workers had really good English too, so I left the salon feeling like my scalp was so light and clean, and honestly just loved the massages. Wow. Feels so much healthier. They even give it like a bit of volume at the top. How's yours?
It's good. They combed my hair.
They combed your hair. Feels really healthy. Yay! What's in your one?
Intestines?
Yes, it's the beef special.
Rice.
Oh look, they have different mats. Yeah. photo shoot with Daehan Hanbok, which also included Hanbok rental. We ended up being so happy with the photos that we got from here, so if you're interested in booking with them, I'll leave a link in my description box below. Choosing a hanbok was honestly a little bit stressful because there were just rows and rows of dresses and tons of people also trying to find a dress in a colour that they wanted. Every dress was different as well, so although there was such a huge range, which I guess is kind of a good thing, I felt like this actually worked against me because I had too many choices to commit to. I ended up going with this lilac number, which was the first dress that I picked out. So if you're looking to do like a hanbok rental or a photo shoot, I definitely recommend, I guess, just picking a colour or having a colour in mind before you go, and then working from there, basically. The staff were really helpful with helping me put the dress on, so there's a little hoop bit that goes under the dress which helps it flare out, so they help you make sure that you're actually wearing everything fine. And there's also like makeup and hair services, so I got my hair done, which was really nice. There's also a bunch of accessories that you can rent from them, so you just return that back to them after your photo shoot. We walked over to the Unhyeongung Palace and it was so beautiful. The autumn colours were in full display and there were like little squirrels running around. It was honestly like a bit of a fairy tale. I can't believe a place like this exists. And it's so beautiful because a lot of people also do their hanbok rentals around there, so it's almost like you're transported back into a previous time. You could definitely consider not hiring a photographer and just, I guess, renting the hanbok and then doing the photos yourself, but I found that there was actually a lot of value in actually hiring a photographer because he knew where to go. And given that the palace was filled with so many people, it actually really helped to have somebody guide us through the palace. He knew all the spots that we would get really good shots at, so that was definitely a highlight.
Big fun, babe?
Yeah.
It's so sunny and there's so many people, but
imagine doing this in the summer, it'd be awful.
yeah, it'd be so hot to do it in the summer. But this has been such a nice experience. I'm so happy that we're doing it. The palace grounds are absolutely beautiful. I mean, just look at that. Amazing. Comfortable, hey? So pretty. Let's go. How was your first true Korean barbecue
It was
experience?
very good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meat was unbelievable.
That was so yummy. And they cooked the meat for us, which was really nice as well. So,
And I
yeah.
could really enjoy a beer.
Yeah! Alright, let's go.
On our last full day in Seoul, we took a day trip to visit the DMZ via a tour group. Not gonna lie, I was actually pretty nervy about doing this tour and I had hesitations honestly up until the morning of, just because I really wasn't sure about how safe it was actually going to be. There was definitely a lot to see, and in retrospect, I think I would do this tour if I hadn't done it before, but would I do it again? Probably not, because I'd be seeing, I guess, like the same things in that sense. I guess you have to be a bit selective in what you want to see, and I guess what you want to hear from it. But yeah, it was definitely worth going and having a look and learning, I guess, about the history of Korea and North Korea as well, to the extent that I guess that it is a one-sided story, but nonetheless still a story. There's definitely a lot to the tour, and there are places or things that you are specifically told not to film or take pictures of. So I think as long as you're respectful of that, there actually is a lot to be learned or a lot to be seen on the tour. There are definitely political sensitivities, which obviously will come to light on the tour, so that's just something to be mindful of if you're looking to book the tour. I'll leave a link in my description box below, including a link to the tour that we booked. It was definitely worth it, and I felt like it was really well organized, so I really enjoyed it. We did the tour, which allowed us to go into this really old tunnel, and honestly it was such a big walk, so if you're looking to do the tour, please wear proper shoes and just be prepared. Lunch was included on the tour, and we went to this cafeteria of sorts, which I know doesn't sound very appealing, but all the food is apparently grown within the DMZ zone, so I thought that was really special if it's true, and it was actually so delicious. We went to the red suspension bridge after lunch, and there's a pretty big hike that you need to do before you actually reach the bridge, but the views were so beautiful.
Hi babe.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm the best.
We are so high up right now.
There's a lot that person screaming ahead.
Whoa.
I saw this was recommended